You know, I do friend in my head. You know, that's like a celebrity that you've never met before, but if you knew them, they would be your friend. Well, thank you, dear.
I'm so excited about our first guest. She's been a friend in my head for as long as I can remember, which actually dates back to when she won Miss America and I was in college, and just, you know. So at the point of me going away to college, I went to school in Boston. You were in Syracuse.
Yeah.
And then you got your Miss America thing. There was something extremely comforting and big about this black woman from like my part of the country.
But remember, that was the year there was 5 women of color, which never had happened.
Yes.
It was 1983, and it was Deneen Graham, who was from North Carolina. There's Amy Keyes from Maryland.
She won Miss America in 1983, and I left for college in 1982, and she was in Syracuse, and I was in Boston. And this woman popped up on the scene and became this Miss America. No. Well, I'm not into beauty pageants, so I really didn't care about that part. But, you know, when you read in the magazines about, you know, her being celebrated, I was like, oh my gosh, I think she's living my life. First of all, her name is Williams. Second of all, her mom and dad, her dad passed away, but were in a loving marriage. They lived in the suburbs.
Okay.
You know, she probably got called white girl. But, I mean, you know, people can be ignorant, though, if you speak a particular way, like I got called white girl. And there she goes to win Miss America, and I was just like, God, she's a friend in my head. And you know how you have that cork board in your dorm room? And you put, you know, your inspirations and the stuff that you like on the cork board? The only 2 people that I can recall right off the bat, other than fashion pictures, because I always liked fashion, Elle magazine was invented when I was in college, and they were just the bomb, like the colorful. So it would be all Elle magazine covers, and then a picture of Oprah and a picture of Vanessa.
That's dope. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she was a friend in my head, and now she's a friend to the show.
Full circle.
A full circle moment.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to be more than a friend. I want to be your real friend now. Can we be real friends?
See? I'm scared.
I've reached out to my listening party. I know you didn't want to come because you didn't want to. You need to be a friend now. You come to barbecues now.
All right, now
Christmas
who else
parties.
is going to show up if I show up?
Well.
Who are your Hollywood girlfriends, famous people?
But I don't, not a lot of people here.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, first of all, you guys, and Holly, you're the person that inspired me to figure out a phrase when somebody's close to you in your head, but you don't know what it is, friend in my head.
I am the original friend in the head?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, no, here's the thing. You're the original friend in my head that I was about to meet. And this is back when I was in Philadelphia and I did radio in the mornings.
Yes.
And Holly is from Philadelphia. And at that time, Rodney was playing for the Eagles.
That's right.
Her husband.
Right.
And you were coming to town and you were participating in some charity work. And my radio station at that time, Power 99, we were involved with helping you be involved. And I was the disc jockey appointed to go.
All this,
because
Wendy?
you're a friend in my head and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, right? So I'm talking on the radio to everybody, and I'm saying, oh, yeah, you know, Holly Robinson Pete's coming, you know, back to her hometown to do this, and Rodney plays for the Eagles. I said, you know, Holly is like one of those girls. We're the same age, and I, oddly and strangely, I feel close to her. I feel like I know her. I feel like in a lot of ways we were raised similarly, and just similar, the similarities. I said, I don't know what you'd call it. It's crazy. She's like a friend in my head.
And do you know why I know this is true?
Why?
Because Cousin Kelly, shout out to Cousin Kelly in Philadelphia, called me and said, Wendy Williams just said you're like her friend in her head.
Right. So now look. So then the day of the actual function, Holly's already there, and I get there with the radio station van. And I'm going up the escalator, and you're going down, and all I could do was finger wave you, and I said, there goes my friend in my head. So I didn't actually meet you that day, but you smiled, and you gave me all this that in my head I figured you would. Like friend in my head.
Thank you. That's a great story.
I love Carla Hall. She is such a friend in my head. I mean, she's one of those types of people that, and I've only met her, you know, since having the show, and I love going to the Chew and stuff, but she's one of those kinds of people that if I didn't have a busy life outside of doing this, and if she didn't have a busy life in another life, she would be my bestie. I adore her. I adore her. Courtney Cox, one of the original friends in my head. We were getting pregnant and losing babies at the same time, me and Courtney. That's why she's always been like a friend in my head. We both finally went on and, you know, had our kids. They had little Coco, and I miscarried that particular year. I've told you that before, but the point is that Coco Arquette and Courtney will always mean a little something more special to me, if you know what I'm saying. John Legend's girlfriend, who was notorious for having a really big, loose mouth on Twitter, like, Chrissy will just say anything that comes to her mind, and that's the way it is. Her name is Chrissy Teigen. That's John's girlfriend of 4 years. John used to be a friend in my head. Do you know how I tell you friend in my head? No, you know I coined that phrase because it was first Vanessa Williams, and then Heather Locklear was the second friend in my head. I've always felt close to Heather Locklear. I don't know why. I've always felt close to her. So then she was a friend in my head. And I think the first guy who ever became a friend in my head was John Legend. Well, when he came on the music scene, there was just something about him that I feel close to him in my head. I feel, he comes over and we drink white wine and we laugh and there's nothing, nothing sexual, just a friend in my head, close. Well, you know when we broke up and we're no longer friends in my head? I mean, I love John, but we don't have time for one another. 4 years ago, he got with Chrissy. And she occupied all of his time. And it was 4 years ago, I got the show. So now my time is occupied here. And then John is seeing, Wendy, why do you have to do the Hot Topics? Wendy, you can't talk about me on the Hot Topics. Wendy, in my head. So I'm like, John, if there's something to speak about, I will, tastefully. You spend your time with Chrissy, and I've got a TV show to build. And I'll see you around, but we can no longer be white wine friends in my head. If there's a celebrity that you feel particularly close to, then that's your friend in your head. Do you understand? Okay. I haven't seen you since the last time we talked, which was in my head when I decided that we can't be friends in my head anymore.
Why did you break up with me in your head?
Because when I got this talk show, you thought Hot Topics was distasteful because you're so classy.
Oh.
Yeah, he thought, and then he became judgmental. I
am very classy.
Yes.
You have to.
No, you were the first man friend in my head.
Yes.
I might never.
You told me that when you used to be on the radio.
On the radio.
Yes.
I invented that term for a celebrity or somebody that you don't really know, but you feel as though you knew him better.
Felt like you hung out with them in your head.
Yes.
Yes.
And you come
and you
over.
used to tell me all these things that me and you used to do together. They didn't sound like anything that I actually do, but.
Well, now that.
But it's cool.
But now that you've chosen such an outgoing woman to be your bride, you are a lot more fun out of my head than you were in my head.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. You're right.
She brings something out of you.
I agree. She makes me a little less boring.
I bet you she likes Hot Topics.
Yeah, she does. She's very clean. She's like OCD clean. So.
And you?
And I'm not messy, but I'm a little bit less OCD, and so that gets on her nerves a bit. Yes.
I am shocked.
I know.
I would think that all of your sweaters were lined up like at Bloomingdale's, like ombre, like a rainbow. Do you know when you used to come over my house? I always did the entertaining.
In your head.
When you used to come over my house in my head, do you realize that I used to check the glasses for spots and do the karate chop in the pillow?
You wanted it nice and clean for me when I came over because I had exacting standards.
Yes!
That wasn't the real me, though.
Do you want to be my friend in my head again?
I'm glad to be.
This is my dream. Words can't express how excited I am. Please welcome the amazing and beautiful Natalie Cole.
Bless you, bless you.
God, you look good.
Thank you, thank you.
63 never looked so good, right? And in my mind, she comes over and we drink white wine.
You're the only one I would let call out my age like that.
No, but Natalie, because you are an inspiration. You are a fabulous woman. Look at your youthful swagger and your pants.
Thank you.
You've been a big sister in my head since forever, and I explained what that is. And, I went through a thing, and you were already over your thing with drugs. And, in a lot of ways, I don't know, and we come from similar families
Yes, we
regarding
do.
much is expected,
Yes.
and there's no room for mistake,
That's
especially being black in this country and trying to move ahead and do things. And your mother and your father just put down such a thing for you, and you messed it up with drugs.
A couple of times.
But you got it together.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so glad.
It's like
thank
another
God
life.
for sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. We've both had our dealings with substance abuse.
Right.
But we both drink. I've seen you out socially.
Yes.
And I know that you drink. Well, no, because people.
But I mean, is she outing me or
No,
what?
no.
I mean, the only excuse is my issue was not with alcohol.
Right.
My issue was with drugs.
See,
Now,
that's
if you
what I
put me
said.
in a room full of cocaine, then we have to. Okay. We might have a little problem, you know.
I don't just have a friend in my head. I have like family members in my head. You know, like Joy Behar is my aunt in my head. Natalie Cole was a sister in my head. When I heard Natalie Cole passed away, I was beyond. But at least it was peaceful. And she was 65. And she had gone through addiction, hepatitis, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And she passed away peacefully. She'd been to our show a few times, and she was always in my mind, like big sister in my head. Like the cool chick, like a big sister who'd come over and school you and ask you, where's the wine? We remember you here, Natalie. Thank you so much for giving us all that you have, and rest in peace. When you observe pop culture long enough, sometimes you feel like, I know I say friend in my head and, you know, all that stuff. Sometimes you feel really, sometimes you get caught up in people's lives and you don't want to. I literally soaked my pillowcase over Big Ange. Soaked it. I woke up this morning, my eyeballs were out here. Apparently, she actually passed away at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was battling throat, lung, and brain cancer. And I always loved when she came to the show, and she was always so nice. Like, out of all of the reality stars and whatnot, you know, Ange was, you know, that calming force with that voice and the boobs and the personality and the drunken monkey and the lips and all that stuff. But she's in a better place. She didn't suffer long, apparently. So here's one of our favorite moments.
Who made the following statement? I used to hide the lamb chops under my boobs.
Is it Big Ange or Big Mama from Big Mama's house?
Big Mama from Big Mama's house.
The answer would be?
Well, you're not getting me.
Big Ange. Look, Ange, really? Lamb chops under the boob?
My uncle in jail.
Oh, Mama, you're a mess. Oh, I just love Tracy Ellis Ross. You know what? If I had hours in the day, that right there is a friend in my head, and it didn't occur to me until today when she sat there laughing goofily. And I mean that in a positive way. She is just, that is my kind of girl. Just goofy, and she's probably fun to sit at the kitchen table with the white wine. I just really adore her. One of my favorite friends in my head, Jennifer Gardner, she now has Garner. In my head, I know her. She's that mom in the pickup line to tell you that you're in the wrong line, or today is the bake sale. Wendy, did you bring cookies? And I say no. And then she says, look, I have extras. Take these in. She's that mom. She's that mom. In my mind. Adele is a friend in my head. I don't know her, but it seems like she's got an older soul, and she probably goes home and pulls the blinds like many of us do. No. You know, all celebrities aren't caught up in being celebrities. Some people just want to go home, go to the grocery store, make a nice meal for their family, lay in the bed, you know, watch Dr. Drew on HLN, and spoon with their man. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Heather Locklear.
And Heather Locklear was on TJ Hooker and Dynasty at the same time, while dating Tommy Lee. And just when you think like she's a teased hair bimbo or something like they try to make out to be, you know, because you're beautiful, Heather, here she is buying up strip malls. Oh, you boys didn't know this, did you? You knew this?
I knew, yeah, from you.
You heard this from me years ago, right? It's one of my favorite stories because she's a friend in my head. We even named a hallway here at Wendy Heather Locklear Way. Right, Suzanne?
Yes, we do. It's upstairs.
Yeah.
Yup.
And I want to keep it there.
I know.
She's got her own hallway.
Yup, she's a big deal around here.
And we did that a long time ago. I don't know, I feel close to her, you know, like she's a bit of a wild child, I'm a bit of a wild child, but she's smart as hell, I'm smart as hell. She doesn't put it out there that she's that smart. I guess nor do I. I know.
Okay.
If I had time in my life, I would introduce you to somebody who's a friend in my head, but we only see each other on the show.
I know.
Whenever we get together, it's like two schoolgirls.
I know, it's too quick, it's too soon.
But you got a lot of friends or kids, and you got your husband.
Yeah.
And I'm busy over here.
Yeah.
But in another life,
honey, like this.
yes,
And like
yes.
this.
I do love me some Vicki Gunvalson. In my mind, she is a friend in my head. She is the OG of the OC. She's 55 years old. You know, she's got the daughter that had the...
I heard about you last week talking about me. You wanted some wine together, so I thought we'd
wine
drink some
and chocolate. She's a
Yay.
perfect guest. It took me a moment to get into the Gunvalson of it all.
Yes.
But you know what? In my head,
we're friends.
Oh, please.
I know.
Yes.
We're gonna
You
whoop
live
it up.
across the street.
We're gonna go whoop it up. Don't you think we should whoop it up? Money's good. Like, I work really hard and I invest and I save.
This is why
and,
you're my friend in my head?
Yeah, because I don't overspend. I don't, you know, I'm very methodical. I'm an actuary in my head all the time. I'm always figuring out numbers.
See?
So,
and nobody
yeah.
would be arguing over the check at lunch.
No.
This is why a friend in my head. There she is. She's been here once before. I mean, I didn't push the whole friend in my head thing, but in my mind, she is that friend in my head. OC is not even my favorite city. Like, that's not even my favorite thing. But Vicki, that's my girl. I'm collecting friends in my head when I have time to make friends in my head. And Pam is definitely one of those friends in my head. I love Pam Grier. There's something real peaceful. Like, I can call her up and say, boom, Pam, it's Wednesday. Can I come to the ranch for 2 days? I just need to relax. But can you make sure that your animals don't bite my... Like, I'm not good with that, you know, I'll be scared. I'm not riding a horse, you know, a horseback riding story. But she's a good one. Oh, you know who else is a friend in my head, but in real life, but in my head? Allie Wentworth also was on the show. I love Allie Wentworth. I love her. And Busy Phillips is also one of those people, although she doesn't know it, and I'm still kind of interviewing her for the position. She doesn't care about a whole lot of stuff. She's about her family, her business, and go home. However, I've seen her out with the big shots. Like, you know, with the snobberazzi and all that stuff. Also, Dr. Lisa Masterson, I just think that she's so cute and so adorable, and she's been here to the show before, and then I've been on The Doctors before, and we always have such good girlfriend talk, and she's one of those people that if I had the time, there are several people that I've met since doing this show that I say, I wish that I would devote the time to being besties with some of the girls that I've met on this show. Like, I really do like Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives. I really do. You know, I love my Vanessa Williams. We've never been out, shared a meal, nothing, not a glass of drink, nothing. I love Kristen Johnson. Remember when she came here? I love her. I'm just randomly rattling names of girls, but there've been so many of them. Like,
If I was, didn't have so many responsibilities in my personal life, these are the girls, I could use my couch, the Wendy set, to cast, and to cast boyfriends. Because I gotta tell you something about that little boy yesterday. Devin Thomas, right after the show, instead of sitting here talking to you guys like a stupid bird, I would be out at lunch with some of the finest men in the country, in the world, who come on this couch. And yes, I would be down with the swirl. If I was single, this entire show would be my casting couch for friends, and I would compartmentalize my friends. Like, I really like Patty Stanger. I could see the two of us and our moms, her mom Rhoda and my mom Shirley, like going on, you know, a holiday together. Oh my gosh, I'm affected. I just called vacation a holiday, like stupid celebrity people. I mean, I could see us going on vacation together, like over to the Bahamas, staying at the Atlantis or something like that. Her father Mel, my father Tom. I really like Patty Stanger. There's so many people that I've met. Alas, I am so cornily mature that I realize that I have so many more responsibilities in my life. You know, it's not easy being a mother. It's not easy maintaining a marriage. It's not easy maintaining sexy youthfulness. Although in my mind, there I am, in the corner, holding court every day at a 5-star restaurant. Right about now, I keep on my show makeup, maybe pare it down a little bit, but I keep on some show makeup. I put on my street wig, which is what I have on now. I keep my fishnets on. And a pencil skirt, because I'd be single, you know, so, you know, you got to keep your look, because you never know where Mr. Right's going to be. Me and Dr. Lisa would jump in the car service, hers or mine. It wouldn't even matter. She's in town. She just came off the show. We'd go over to Michael's, hold court next to, you know, some of the other, whoever goes there, a lot of important people. She would order the soup and salad. I would order a piece of lettuce, because I'd be single and I'd be still on the hunt for man, which means that I wouldn't be as comfortable eating like a cow like I do right now. We would have 4 glasses of white wine, and being that our stomachs aren't full, we'd be giggling with delight. Oh heck, that's 4, that'd be 2 apiece. Come on, Lisa, let's order another bottle. All right, so that's a bottle apiece. That's 8 glasses of white wine. Then she would say, let's go to Saks and buy shoes. And I would say, why not? We are both working. We have a credit card. Shall we use yours or mine? You know, when you don't have a kid and you don't have, like, you know, a care in the world, a sense of responsibility or something like that, I could imagine myself shopping all the time. Now I'm so close to retirement. I hold on to every damn dollar practically. Anyway, back to my fantasy. We would go to Saks and we would shop. I would find that their shoe department only goes up to size 11. I would be pissed, so I would go outside and smoke another fake cigarette. Lisa would say, when you finish smoking, meet me in the St. John's knit area. Because, you know, we're daytime divas, so therefore we have to dress a little bit more conservatively, but with no panties. I'd meet her in St. John's knit. We'd buy outfits. Then both of our car services would meet us outside Saks. Because alas, it's now 4 o'clock, Lisa. Where has the time gone? I have dinner with Devin at 7. I'll see you later, girl. And we would air kiss. And then I would go back to my apartment because at this point I would live in the city. I'd live on Park Avenue, Upper East Side. Car service, Jeffrey, he'd be my regular driver. Jeffrey, take me back to my penthouse. Why am I smoking so much? Oh, because I'm single and I'm trying to keep my weight down. So I go into the house. Hello, Hazel, I'm home. Gregory, draw me a bath. It'd be a big apartment. Of course, I'd have people helping me and living with me on their side. Anyway, you can see the life that I would lead for myself. I had shopping with one Wendy guest, and I have date with another guest tonight. And who knows whether it will end up in sex or not. I'm single. My eggs are getting rotten. And not that Devin will be my Mr. Man, but he's my Mr. Man tonight, and that's what's important. And guess where we're going for dinner? Right back to Michael's. Because I have no shame in my single game. I want to be photographed by the paparazzi. You know, I want good service because I'm a regular there. And we won't take my car service, so Jeffrey, you're off for the night. He picked me up probably in his Bugatti. These ball players. And we'd go to the club afterwards. And I may get dropped off at the studio where I'd just already be here. I'd sleep on the couch, wake up in the morning. The bags under my eyes would be down to here. I would look a freaking hot mess. But I'm having a good time using my own show couch as the casting couch. Anyway, that's how it would be. I say all that to say, I'm glad that this talk show didn't happen back then, because I would be having a fun, interesting life. But you know what? As corny as it might seem, you guys, I like my life so much better. The one that I really live, not the one that I live in my head.